my god, there's so many things going on. Baby bazooka.
Yeah, I was like, you're doing too much.
Alligators galloping.
Just the visuals of that, I don't like. Because I also don't like the owls sit cross-legged. There's just something very weird about that for me.
Oh my gosh, the fact that their legs just, like, extend out.
There's just too much leg.
Okay, okay. Welcome back to our channel. We're SOTTB. I'm Chevy.
I'm Des, and today we have a reaction video.
Ooh, and we're back on that scary stuff, guys.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah. Boo.
Oh.
Yeah. Right? Right? Power.
Heart-stopping.
So, today we will be reacting to Scary TikTok compilation by TikTok Tings.
Yeah, I've got a lot of views and apparently it's actually some scary stuff.
Right?
So hopefully we get spooked.
I don't want to get spooked.
I would like to get spooked.
Okay.
It's very difficult to get me spooked, so let's see if we can get spooked today.
Get me spooked.
See if we can get spooked today.
We're gonna try it.
Yes,
Okay.
let's do it. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
This is why you should always change your locks. In 2017, a college girl woke up from a nightmare drenched in sweat and decided to rinse off before going back to sleep. She propped her phone on a shelf, turned on some music, and then hopped in the shower. A few minutes later, she reaches for her phone to change the song, but stops suddenly. Reflected on her phone's screen was a person standing in the middle of her bathroom facing the shower. She somehow kept her composure, turned the water to scalding hot, and then ripped open the curtain and sprayed the intruder in the face. As they howled in pain, she ran past them to her kitchen to get her butcher's knife. In a panic, she can't find her knife, so she just runs out of the apartment and calls the police. The police go in and come out with a crazy-looking woman in handcuffs. One of the officers comes over to the girl and says she used to live here and she had copies of your keys. Then he pauses and looks down and brings up a clear evidence bag that contained her butcher's knife, and he says, "Looks like she wanted her apartment back."
There's something terrifying.
In handcuffs?
I thought it was gonna be something supernatural, but there was literally a woman in her apartment with a butcher's knife, ready to slice and dice her.
She's lucky she had that fight or flight, like, let me turn the water on all the way hot. Like, how did you just think of that all of a sudden?
It helps that my water is always scalding hot,
Okay.
so I'll be ready. What if she didn't have a removable shower head?
I guess we're glad that she... No! The scalding hot water? You're burning yourself too? Okay, wow. Okay, guys, always change your locks?
Period.
That's really, really creepy.
Right?
Okay.
Terrifying going on at Chuck E. Cheese right now, and I'm gonna explain it to you. So we all know about the game Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
Yeah.
It's a game based around a restaurant that's pretty much like a Chuck E. Cheese, where the animatronics come to life and wreak havoc on all the guests there. But what if I told you this was possibly happening in real life right now? Just 2 days ago, 5 children have gone missing inside of a Chuck E. Cheese, and the parents reported a weird smell from the inside of the building. And then just like Five Nights at Freddy's, someone that worked the late night shift actually got killed after hours. Now these are all pretty weird, but here's the kicker right here. Check out this headline. Night shift workers from Chuck E. Cheese claim strange movement from animatronics post hours. So I don't know, what do you think about this? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? And I mean, with 2020 and everything going on, like, I wouldn't be shocked if it was real.
Blood-curdling facts
I feel like that was like really, really like...
Yeah, it was quick.
He was trying to fit that all in, squeeze that all in.
Did they ever find the missing kids?
I really feel like I wanna look that up. I don't think they ever found the kids. It doesn't. They haven't. It doesn't seem like they found any kids. No.
The fuck?
Yeah, and then they're saying that there's like it could be a rumor, and they're saying that it's just a hoax, but
5 kids?
you know, I feel like that's too many
They have
kids.
to shut that shit down.
That's too many kids for it to just be fake.
Right?
Anyways.
that you wish you never knew, Part 1. When creating the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, they couldn't create skeletons that looked realistic enough, so they used real human skeletons. Since then, they've removed all but one. Ducks sometimes become cannibals due to boredom, meaning they kill and eat each other. This behavior begins as early as 4 weeks old. Crocodiles are capable of galloping, similar to a horse. Luckily, alligators cannot. And while we're at it, tarantulas can swim. It's extremely common after you die that there will be extreme gas buildup and you will burp after death. And sometimes dead bodies can even sit up on their own. Also, if a pregnant woman dies, the gas buildup in her body can actually forcefully push a baby out. In other words, a post-mortem baby bazooka. Hearing is the last bodily function to go after one dies. So it's very possible that the last thing you ever hear is the paramedic calling off your CPR.
This is why you should never stay in sketchy mode.
That last one was so terrible! Wow.
Okay, call it. Can you imagine?
No!
I mean...
Oh my god, there's so many things going on. Baby bazooka.
Yeah, I was like, you're doing too much.
Alligators galloping.
Just the visuals of that, I don't like. Because I also don't like the owls sit cross-legged. There's just something very weird about that for me.
Oh my gosh, the fact that their legs just, like, extend out.
There's just too much leg.
Okay.
Sketchy motels. In 2005, a young woman on a solo road trip across the country decided to stop for the night. The first place she sees is the Mountaintop Motel. It looked pretty cheap, but she was tired, so she said good enough. The check-in guy eyed her up and down very uncomfortably and then asked her if she was traveling alone. She ignores the question, pays for her room, and then walks away with the key. When she gets inside her room and sees there are literally cockroaches in her bed, she says nope and decides to sleep in her car in the parking lot. Around 3 a.m., she wakes up to see the check-in guy using his own keys to get into the motel room she was supposed to be in. A few minutes later, he storms out and slams the door and starts walking towards her car. Terrified, she hides under her blanket as the man tries to open her car doors but can't and walks away. She speeds off and calls her friend and asks her to look up the address of Mountaintop Motel so she can give it to police. Her friend's quiet for a second and then just says, "The Mountaintop Motel closed a week ago. If someone offers you this, walk away."
Okay, wait.
What? Oh my god. So it closed, but then somebody...
is still giving out keys and accepting money so he could have their way with whoever's inside.
But I'm like, how did he keep the lights on? How is he keeping the lights on if it closed?
I mean, maybe they cut it off at the end of the month.
Okay.
Maybe.
So you're just trying to make that little smidge left?
Right? But also, I don't really stay in sketchy motels.
No.
And if someone asks you if you're traveling alone, you just say no. Say someone's joining me later.
Shortly.
Yeah.
Okay guys, let's see what's happening next.
Yeah, let's do it.
Someone offers you this, walk away. In 2016, a man was staying at his friend's cabin in the woods when he decided to go for an evening stroll. A little ways down the trail, he hears someone call out from behind his neighbor's house. He looks up and he sees this skinny guy pop out from behind the building who starts waving frantically at him to come over. Worried this guy could be in trouble, the man takes off running to assist.
What a
When he
nice
gets close
guy.
enough, the neighbor just offers him a fistful of Slim Jims and starts talking about how much he hates his wife. Sensing there was something wrong with this guy, he says no thank you to the Slim Jims and walks away.
Nightmare
The
fuel.
next day, the man calls his friend who owned the cabin to ask him what the deal was with his weirdo neighbor. There was silence on the phone, and then his friend just says, "I don't have any neighbors." The police are called, and it turns out his neighbor was really some lunatic who had recently killed his wife and had been hiding out in the abandoned cabin next door. This is why you always say yes to tandoori chicken. In 2012, a high school tutor and her student stayed up so late one night studying that by the time they were done, the buses had stopped running. Without another way home, the student asked if he could stay the night at her place. Reluctantly, she agreed. When they got back to the apartment, she fell asleep on her bed and he fell asleep on a blanket next to her bed on the ground. A few hours later, she wakes up to the boy standing awkwardly in the middle of the room with a very strange look on his face. She asks him, "What's wrong?" He looks at her and says, "I'm really hungry. Let's go get some tandoori chicken." Confused, she says, "It's 2 a.m. Just get a snack in the cupboard." And he grabs her by the arm and he says, "No, we are getting tandoori chicken right now." And he yanks her from the bed. Feeling totally caught off guard by this whole situation, she goes into the hall with the boy, and as soon as the door shuts behind them, she can tell that he is terrified. He looks at her and just says, "I'm not actually hungry. When I woke up, there was someone under your bed."
Ew.
This is why you should always trust your gut.
There's so much going on. So, how are all...
I feel like there was so much more to the story that we could have gotten into, like, did we call someone? Was the person under the bed? Like, if you clearly saw them, how did they not see you? And then you got up and got her out of the room.
I guess that's the disadvantage of TikTok. It's just like real quick. It's just like go, go, go. And I'm just like, but I need more.
Right?
Like, what is
It's
happening?
long as hell, so I'm
You're
like,
right.
I need more information.
Okay, let's keep going.
In the early 1970s, a college student decided to hitchhike his way home after class. A car pulls up, a man offers him a ride, and he climbs in. As soon as the car started moving, the student felt totally uneasy, like something was wrong but he couldn't quite place it. Without saying anything, he waited till the next time they slowed down and he flung the door open and ran away. 2 years later, he's flicking through TV channels when he comes across this special interview with a death row inmate. And it's just the audio recording, so he hears the interviewer ask the inmate, "Why did you remove all the door handles inside of your car?" The man just goes, "Well, the first time I tried to kill someone, I picked up a college hitchhiker who got smart at some point and jumped out of my car. So, lesson learned, remove all the door handles." When they showed his picture, the student knew immediately that he was supposed to be the first victim of John Wayne Gacy, aka the Killer Clown, who had killed over 30 men and boys in his clown room and stuffed them into his basement.
What?
This is why you should always...
Clown room? Why do people have a who has a clown room?
What goes on in the clown room? Are you dressing as a clown? Are you dressing the other person as a clown?
I mean, clearly some fucked up shit's happening in the clown room if he's stuffing all these people
from the clown room in the basement
in their clown outfit.
There's a lot of clown outfits.
You should always trust your gut. In the 1970s, a young couple decided to go for a late-night hike in the woods. A couple minutes into their walk, and the man remembers thinking, something's not right. He tells his girlfriend, but they just decide to ignore it and keep going, until he steps on something that felt really soft, like it was alive. Before he has a chance to see what he stepped on, they hear all this rustling in the bushes next to them, and they bolt. Years later, that couple turns on the TV, and a death row inmate who's about to be executed is being interviewed. And they ask him, was there ever a time that you were almost caught red-handed? He responded, yes, one time. I was in the woods, and a couple walked through, and the man actually stepped on the body of a girl I had just killed. I was hiding in the bushes just a few feet away. They didn't see me. That couple had run into one of the worst serial killers of all time, Ted Bundy.
So supposedly this is what...
See, they lost me at
late night
late in the woods. Why?
What are we walking in the woods in the dark for? That's not
can't
romantic.
see anything.
That's not romantic.
It's actually quite terrifying.
But no. And then also, I just want to rewind back to the other one for a second. The fact that this guy just took out the door handles of his car too, I feel like this is just so psychotic.
It's funny you say that, because what I was thinking is, why is everyone randomly turning on the TV to a death row inmate interview?
How is this possible?
It's a bit too coincidental for me.
How is this possible? Okay.
I'm telling you, every time I've turned on the TV, not once.
Not even one time.
Has it been an interview for someone on death row? So,
I mean, maybe that's their thing. Maybe they just like watch those like documentaries and
I
stuff.
was gonna say maybe they just have cable.
Oh, you're right. That too. That too. Okay.
This is what the fallen angel Lucifer looks like.
The fuck?
And this is what the moon looked like on March 31st, 2020.
What?
I don't know about any of you guys, but this is scary, especially with everything going on in the world right now.
March 2020? When the panties started?
Huh.
That's...
Maybe that's why I don't spend too much time looking up at the clouds. I don't know what I'm finna see.
That's very terrifying. If that's real, like not edited, that is very terrifying.
Right?
And especially March 2020 when the pandemic started. Enough.
Yeah,
Enough! This video is actually,
You're doing a lot.
I'm gonna be thinking about all of this after. This is so much. Okay. Because it's like all real.
Pretty cool!
Let this be a reminder that there really are monsters out there.
Not you again.
In 2007, a woman living right near a prison in California got home late one night and went right to bed. Around midnight, she woke up to footsteps on her first floor, assumed it was her roommate, so she goes downstairs to say hi. She yells out to her roommate, who doesn't say anything, and then in walks this giant man who she doesn't recognize. She runs upstairs, jumps in her closet into the crawl space and hides. As she's helplessly tucked away in this little crawl space, trying not to make any sound, all she hears is this giant man sprinting around her house, running into walls, flipping furniture, and screaming in frustration because he can't find her. Finally, after several hours, she slowly opens the crawl space back up, crawls out, and gets her phone off the nightstand and calls police. As she's telling the police her story, she describes the person who had broken in, and they stop her and say, "Ma'am, go back in the crawl space and stay there. We'll be there as soon as we can." It turned out a 6'11" convicted murderer had escaped the prison and was still on the loose.
First of all, 6'11"?
That is fucking terrifying. If I walk into my home and I see a 6'11" anything,
It's a wrap.
this is your house. Goodbye.
Like, can you imagine the reach of his arm?
Nope. No.
Reach
2 arms.
across the room.
2 arms. No. No. There's milk in the fridge. There's Frosted Flakes. There's some rice. I'm out. Goodbye. Enjoy.
Actually, also, how is someone 6'11" escaping from prison?
You know, how did they not see that?
He's so.
How did they not see
He's
that?
covering so much surface area.
He probably just had so much force. He was just like, ugh. And then he breaks through the brick
He
wall.
presses his back against the wall of the cell, and just with the force, he fully extends his foot and breaks through. I don't know.
No, if I see a 6'11" anything, goodbye.
Even on the street, I'm
No.
turning around and going, oh.
I had some serious errands to do, but
Yeah, no. Groceries got to wait.
not today.
No, not at all.
Oh.
If you scare easily,
Okay.
I wouldn't watch this video. In 2013, a mine explorer found this entrance to an abandoned mine and decided to go have a look around. He decides to film his experience and upload it to his YouTube channel, where he had uploaded hundreds of other videos of him exploring mines, but he never once references the paranormal or ghosts or anything like that. Until this video.
Mines.
As soon as he steps foot inside, he tells the camera that he has a really uneasy feeling about being there and wonders if he should even keep going, but he does. Everything seems pretty normal until he gets to a section in the mine where there's a bunch of chains hanging down from the ceiling. He hears something in the back of the tunnel, so he pulls his flashlight out and he shines it towards the back, and he sees a chain swinging, and it shouldn't be, because there's no draft and he's all alone, and you can tell he's scared by the way he starts talking. Although he's totally freaked out, he wants to know what's causing the chain to swing, so he goes farther and farther into the mine until he hears something. People whispering in every direction. He gets totally spooked and runs out. If you don't want to sleep tonight, watch the whole video. This is why you should
If you see a chain swinging, why would you want to continue to find out why? This is not.
He lost me at abandoned mines.
Why is that your hobby?
That's where he lost me. You can't paint. Take up jogging.
Right, I don't even feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him at all. Okay.
I'm hearing whispers. Maybe because you should not be there.
In a abandoned mine.
Unprovoked.
On his own free time. You know what?
Gets up, grabs his stuff, heads to the mine.
We couldn't be friends, because I'm not doing that.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
never open your door for strangers. In 2013, a woman let her dog out to use the bathroom one more time before bed. After only a few minutes, she starts hearing scratching on her door, which is typically the sound her dog makes when he's ready to come in. But it just seemed way too soon for him to be done being outside. So she decides to look through the peephole to make sure it really is her dog. But what she sees is terrifying. A deranged-looking man is right outside her door, staring intently at her door handle, waiting for it to turn open. As she's looking in horror, unable to do anything, he starts scratching at the door as hard as he can, never leaving his gaze from the door handle. She manages to stifle a scream, she backs away and realizes her dog is still outside. So she goes to the side window, but there's no sign of her dog, and so she goes back to the door to see if maybe the man's moved. He hasn't moved, his mouth is open, and he's staring directly at the peephole. Then he turns around and walks away. With the man gone, she discovers her dog unharmed, his leash had just been cut. But that means he had a knife.
Terrifying facts about the ocean. Let's get into it. So we've explored...
I like how I said don't open your door to strangers. Like, first of all, absolutely not.
If I see that. Yeah, I'm sorry, like, I'm a dog lover too, but if I see that outside of my door and my dog is also out there...
See you in the morning. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
I don't think I'll be able to open the door. I
would hate for anything to happen to the dog.
I wouldn't want anything to happen to the dog, but...
I would hate even more for something to happen to me.
And imagine if I die and then the dog lives, who's gonna feed the dog?
No.
See?
Not the crazy guy.
He walked away apparently, so...
Like, to go to someone else.
To go do something else, I don't know. Wow, I'm... Honestly, guys, like, I won't say that I'm, like, extremely spooked, but a lot of these things are still kind of running on my mind a little bit.
I feel like the imagery behind him was more scary. Like, the stuff he was saying was just very highly disturbing.
Mm-hmm. Like, he had nightmare fuel, you mean?
Yeah, I'm like, first of all, 6'11"?
No. Like, just the imagining that in my
mental
head.
Imagery. Like, how high are these ceilings?
I have no clue. I would say maybe like 8, 9.
It's almost no.
Okay, guys. Wow.
To the no.
Right? This was good, intense. Let us know if you guys want to see more of this, because I enjoyed it. I did enjoy watching it.
It was very interesting. Like, I had a nice time.
Right?
Some of that stuff, it just could not have been me. I'm not hiking at night. I'm not going to mines.
Abandoned ones.
Yes. Thankfully,
Even non-abandoned mines. I'm not going into.
Just keep it real general.
No mines.
No. I don't live alone, thank goodness. Don't have a dog that I need to worry about letting outside in the middle of the night.
Not going to a cheap motel. Not happening.
I have a lot of things and
not
stuff.
Hitchhiking.
So nothing's under my bed. Right? I have my own car. Not staying in a motel.
Even if I don't, I'm not hitchhiking. I'm not doing that.
Right? And
I will Uber, I will Lyft, I will bus, I will train. I am not.
Before I start hitchhiking. And then the fact that he had the sign in the background says, do not pick up hitchhikers. It's like, I feel like equally, don't pick up hitchhikers, don't ask to be picked up. Like,
yeah.
There's so many things.
There's so much stuff happening.
But honestly, I had like some real creepy experience with the Uber driver once.
Ooh, let's go.
So he's driving me home. I'm by myself. It's like evening going into night. This man pulls into this completely closed plaza. Parking lot is completely empty. Parks in the middle of the parking lot, and he just turns and looks at me dead in my face, and I'm like, "Is this where you like attacked me?" Because absolutely not. And then he's just like staring down at his phone, and I was like, and he has not said a thing, and I'm like,
what?
So
death.
Excuse me, because I'm like, should I be checking to see if the door opens? You know?
Don't do that and then panic yourself even more.
He's like, oh, sorry, I just got lost. I have to just check the directions. I'm just like,
I wish you said that.
But it was weird because like he was like taking these back roads and he just pulled off into this plaza so random. Didn't pull over on the side of the street in a well-lit area. No, just in this abandoned parking lot. And I'm like,
no. No.
He's looking at me, I'm looking at him, and then he turns around and doesn't say anything. I'm like, so what am I supposed to assume?
So he literally turned and just looked at you like this?
Yeah, he turned and looked at me, and I was like,
that's so
and we're just looking at each other, and then he turns around, he's on his phone, I'm like,
that's so creepy.
Yeah. So, you know,
I'm glad that you're here, because no.
We made it. God had plans for me.
Because no. Don't hitchhike.
Yeah.
Don't go to abandoned mines. Don't go to cheap motels.
And yeah, don't go on late night hikes in the dark either.
I mean, unless it's just like a residential street or something. I feel like in the woods?
Yeah.
What are you doing? They must have been some next level like risk taker, adventure seeker, you know, parasailing on a Tuesday type of couple, because there's no way.
Even with cabins, I kind of like, why would you want like, I understand privacy. Still not sure what you're doing in the woods like that you need that much privacy for
Like
it
to
be
live in or to like vacation in?
like even for vacations, like I can see it, but like when people get cabins specifically because they're just like out in for friggin' nowhere, I'm just kind of like, I'm not trying to drive 8 miles for groceries. Like, I still want, anywhere I live or vacation or anything, I want people to be somewhat accessible because you never know what can happen.
Yeah, because you're just by yourself.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe avoid those types of secluded locations.
Please do. Because we've learned a lot from this.
Truly.
Hopefully you did too.
Really?
So, I guess we'll just jump into our 4 steps.
Yes.
Like the video.
I know you had fun.
Right? This was creepy.
Free knowledge.
This was creepy.
Free knowledge.
Comment.
Thoughts, feelings, emotions. Do you have a weird experience? Because I feel like we have a list of weird experiences. We could make a video on just that.
Literally so
Times
many.
we've escaped death. Like,
So many.
yeah.
Let us know.
If you want to hear them, let us know too.
Maybe we'll make a video on that.
Maybe.
But it's up to y'all.
Yeah.
Share.
Send it to your friends, family, literally anyone.
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 You can send it to everyone.
Creepy guy who just escaped prison. Who knows?
Don't. Not that. Anyone but that.
Someone on death row.
No. Right? Do you guys just watch death row interviews?
I don't.
I don't either. But let us know.
Yeah.
And subscribe.
Because how can you not?
And hit the notification bell.
Ding!
And on that note, we'll
Catch you in the next one?
just had like a...
It's okay. It's okay.
We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.